Good afternoon. Hello, everyone. I'll be presenting on forecasting a healthy future, the value of federal market data specifically to the citrus industry. My name is Matthew Salois. I am the Chief Economist and Director of Economic and Market Research for the Florida Department of Citrus. I'd like to begin first just by giving a brief introduction to the Florida citrus industry at a snapshot. These statistics come right from the USDA NASS office. In the state of Florida, we have 64.5 million bearing trees on nearly 491,000 acres. Last year, in 2013, we produced 156 million boxes of citrus, or 7 million tons of citrus product, for a total crop value of about $1.53 billion. There are other productive areas of citrus in the U.S., California and Texas having some production. But in terms of overall production and value in the U.S., Florida accounted for 63% of total U.S. citrus production and 49% of the U.S. dollar value. And going beyond the numbers and the value of the citrus industry to the state of Florida economy, there are more than 8,000 growers in the citrus industry in the state of Florida, generating more than 76,000 jobs and having an economic impact, both direct and indirect, of around $9 billion. It is a critical industry to the state of Florida. And in looking at the role that federal statistics plays within the Department of Citrus in the citrus industry, it plays a key role. The little snapshot to the right displays the production process of orange juice from grove to glass. And it is a complex process with many moving pieces. And federal statistics play a key role along each of that process in terms of market surveillance, industry management, economic forecasting. Statistics play a role in all of these. Market surveillance, it's where is the market at? What is happening in the market? It provides the heartbeat of market health. And in terms of industry management, leaders in the industry, from grower to corporate executive, use this information to make business management decisions, profit maximizing decisions. Economic forecasting is a key part of any agricultural industry, and citrus is no different. When we attempt to forecast production and supply and demand from 1 year to 10 years out, data is absolutely an intense part of that process and allows industry leaders to engage in critical market planning and strategy setting. And all of this is leading up to American competitiveness in terms of providing a comparative advantage over our global competition. And looking at the global competitive set, displayed here is global orange juice production by shares of regional producers over the recent few-year average. And as you can see, Brazil is the dominant producer of orange juice globally, with nearly 60% of the total orange juice production in the world being produced by Brazil. In the United States, Florida in particular, comes in at 30%, and some other regions such as Mexico and Costa Rica and others comprise around 12% of that share. It wasn't too long ago that the situation was reversed. Up until around the mid-'80s or so, the U.S., and again Florida in particular, was the global dominant producer of citrus, but a number of freezes and production issues have flip-flopped how that looks. I'd like to just discuss for a couple of moments a little bit about the Department of Citrus to provide a bit of context. We were founded in 1935 amidst the Great Depression with the mission to maximize consumer demand for Florida citrus products and to ensure the sustainability as well as the economic well-being of not just the Florida citrus grower, but the whole citrus industry, and in particular the state of Florida economy. The Department of Citrus is responsible for the regulation, research, and the market promotion for citrus products. It was the first entity in the United States that was in fact established to ensure both quality and promotion of a food commodity, and it served as a model for subsequent marketing orders, for example, the Idaho Potato Commission, Washington State apples, and Alaskan seafood. In terms of the economic and market research that the Department of Citrus provides, it really serves a dual mission and a dual constituency. First is the provision of relevant research programs that can guide the Department of Citrus national marketing programs, providing not just the internal stakeholders, the marketing leadership within the Department of Citrus, but the broader industry and marketing community with information that can help deliver and maximize marketing effort. But the other mission and constituency is to deliver and interpret economic research to the industry at large. And this comes through a series of key deliverables and reports that the Department of Citrus provides. I've given just a list of a few of them: a monthly economic and market indicators report that really is part of that market surveillance and industry management tool that people in the industry rely on to make business decisions. We also provide an annual Citrus Outlook report that provides a comprehensive set of statistics and information on the citrus industry. And then lastly, a citrus production and trends and forecast report that projects what the citrus industry will look like 10 to 15 years in the future, and this is often used for strategic planning and long-term decisions. There are a number of data sources that we use in our data sets, in our key economic and market reports. The USDA, the Department of Agriculture, obviously is a key component and source of critical information from the ERS, the Foreign Ag Service, and the National Agricultural Statistics Service. But we also utilize data from the Department of Commerce, the U.S. Census, and the Bureau of Economic Analysis, the Department of Labor with the Bureau of Labor Statistics, and the Department of Health with the National Center for Health Statistics. In focusing in a bit more particular on what data we utilize, particularly from agricultural play a role in the delivery of information that we produce. The Citrus Production Forecast Report that NASS produces in conjunction with the Florida Agricultural Statistics Service provides the pivotal information needed to gauge what is the citrus crop going to look like and what can we project the citrus production level to be in the future. The Citrus Summary and Statistics Report, which is also produced by the NASS, provides a comprehensive set of information on the citrus crop, from acreage to trees to value to production, and really provides a core set of information. Maturity, yield, and test results let us gauge the level of quality of citrus production in the state, and the Commercial Citrus Inventory and the Citrus Abandoned Acres Report play a key role in the forecast component in attempting to forecast production in the future. The Economic Research Service with the Food Availability Data System, the Fruit and Tree Nuts Outlook, and the Food APS National Survey allow the Department of Citrus to gauge from a demand side what is food intake looking like in the United States on a broad level, but in particular within a fruit context and especially within orange juice. The Foreign Agricultural Service plays a key role in gauging our external competitive set with the production, supply, and distribution online, and the GAIN reports, the Global Agricultural Information Network, that allows us to see production and demand in Brazil and in other countries. Given here is just a snapshot of the information that our external and internal stakeholders use and the role that national statistics plays in that particular set of information. So this is a table from the Economic Indicators Report that provides a summary of orange juice availability, movement, and inventory. And the number that I've circled there, which is called pack from fruit, is really a production number. It's the production forecast from orange juice within the state. And it's based on the crop forecast that the USDA releases pretty much monthly throughout the citrus season. Other information is also available on the table: imports, availability, movement of orange juice throughout the supply chain, and ending inventories. But all of these are dependent upon the estimate of production, which is needed to assess what the import need will be, what the movement will look like, and inventory scenarios. This is another snapshot from the Economic Indicators Report that looks at inventory, imports, and availability, and in particular, it looks at inventory outside the outside Florida, which can be substantial and have an impact on demand and supply. And the U.S. FCOJ Cold Storage Report that the National Agricultural Statistics Service is the only set of information that allows the Department of Citrus and the industry to gauge what inventory levels outside Florida look like. This is a table snapshot from the Citrus Outlook Report. It provides information on Florida and Brazil utilization and production around oranges. And again, the numbers that we obtain from federal statistics are highlighted there in red. The citrus crop report provides information on the Florida crop, which allows us, the Department of Citrus, to assess the utilization of that product, either going fresh or going processed in the form of orange juice. And the FAS Brazil gain report allows us to gauge what production will look like in Brazil and estimate the utilization in Brazil, which obviously, given their dominance in the marketplace, has an impact on Florida and more generally U.S. demand and supply. This is a snapshot from the production forecast report that we deliver to the industry annually. It's based on the commercial citrus tree inventory and as well the citrus maturity and yield report. And again, this information is critical to forecasting production in the future and allows us to provide different scenarios based on different assumptions, which the industry then uses in their management decisions. Other data sources that play an important role in the delivery of information include, as I mentioned, the Department of Commerce, Labor, and Health. And these are used in studies on consumption, nutrition and diet, demand, estimating price elasticities. The U.S. Census provides information on population estimates and population forecasts so we can gauge per capita consumption. The Bureau of Economic Analysis gives income measures among other types of measures which are key in studies of demand and price elasticities. The Bureau of Labor Statistics, again, the CPI and unemployment rates and its impact on juice consumption. And the Department of Health with the National Center for Health Statistics, in particular the NHANES, the National Health and Nutrition Examination Survey, allows us to assess what individuals and households are consuming within the home and the role that juice plays in a person's diet. And it's a really important data set as well because it's one of the few data sets that allows and provides information for consumption at home and away from home as well, which is very important. I'd be remiss, however, if I didn't put this in the context of the current challenge facing the citrus industry. It is facing an endemic disease known as greening, or HLB, which is a fatal bacterial disease that is wreaking havoc not only on production domestically, particularly in Florida, but it is a global problem with a global presence in U.S., Brazil, Mexico, and elsewhere. And as you can see, it affects not just the foliage of the tree, which affects its ability to take on nutrients, but the product of the tree, the orange itself, is adversely affected and eventually renders itself non-usable. The department is, hopefully I've gotten across, is a very data-driven entity, and the citrus industry is a data-intense industry. The Department of Citrus has utilized data and been data-intensive in the past. We are now, and we continue to believe that we will be a data-intensive industry in the future. And the use of federal statistics is critical, not just now to the well-being, but in the future for the survival of the citrus industry. And the U.S. citrus industry remains competitive in large part because of the data available. The market surveillance and the industry management and the economic forecasting component that the industry uses is all a data-centered activity. And of course, American competitiveness, which relies on the footsteps of these different components of decision-making, is a data-centered enterprise. Without federal statistics, a critical piece of the puzzle is missing. And sometimes the use of federal statistics in the citrus industry plays a small piece of the puzzle, and sometimes it's a large piece of the puzzle. But regardless of the size, a missing piece still leaves an incomplete puzzle. And so federal statistics play a key role in the industry and is important for its success. Thank you for your time, and that concludes my presentation.